Shalom Lekulam! After an eventful day exploring Palestine, I'm back to the reality of my daily life here in Israel. The weather today is quite overcast and breezy, yet still remarkably hot. Typically, when conditions like this arise, it signals an impending sandstorm in the surrounding regions. Given that the southern part of Israel is a desert, we're certainly not immune to such occurrences. Right now, my balabay is driving us to Greenhouse 23, where we've been assigned to work. Upon arriving at Greenhouse 23, we were met with rows of thriving big beef tomato varieties. These tomatoes are primarily used for sandwiches and burgers, and I must say, the sheer size of the tomatoes grown here in Israel is truly impressive. They're so plump and vibrant that I almost feel tempted to take a bite. Now on to the exciting part, harvest season is in full swing. Today, our task involves harvesting tomatoes while simultaneously removing unwanted shoots to promote healthier plant growth. The trellising system used here follows the vertical trellising method, which ensures that the plants receive optimal sunlight exposure and improved air circulation, thereby maximizing their yield. You might notice the numbers marked on certain areas. These serve as identification codes for different tomato plant varieties. Additionally, the colored ribbons act as markers to distinguish designated sections for seed extraction or laboratory research. Meanwhile, flowering markers are utilized during emasculation and pollination to track the progress of each plant. Once we completed our tasks in the tomato section, we moved on to the watermelon area, where our primary task was pruning excess shoots from the watermelon plants. The fruits here are nearly ripe for harvest, but we're still prohibited from picking them just yet, as samples must first be collected and seeds extracted for further research. If the summer climate in the Middle East is already known for being intensely hot and dry, the heat inside the greenhouse is even more unbearable due to the controlled environment system. As a result, we are required to wear full protective clothing while working to prevent heat exhaustion. And just as expected, a sandstorm has arrived. The air is thick with dust, causing a stinging sensation in my eyes and irritation in my nose. Now let me show you what the surroundings look like when a sandstorm approaches. From a distance, it resembles a thick, smoky haze, but in reality, it's a massive cloud of airborne sand. When conditions worsen, visibility can drop to zero as the dust completely engulfs everything in its path. I had no choice but to wear a face mask for protection. Fortunately, we were just about to transfer to the seed extraction area, where we could finally take refuge in an air-conditioned workspace. What a relief! Thankfully, today's sandstorm is relatively mild. Anyhow, this is what we normally do whenever we extract cucumber seeds. The weather here is also incredibly unpredictable. It feels as though the climate itself is indecisive. However, as many locals say, sandstorm is common in the Middle East, particularly during the summer months. Just moments ago, the sky was cloudy and windy, yet now the sun is scorching and the air is excessively dry. Alright, unable to bear the heat any longer, I decided to change into lighter clothing for comfort. With our break over, we returned to the greenhouse to terminate the watermelon plants as the section had completed its research cycle. This process becomes a cycle in agricultural research, especially at Hazara, a globally renowned high-quality seed breeding company. After a long physically demanding day, I can't help but feel completely exhausted from working in multiple areas. But that's the reality of being hardworking. All I can say is, Tadala El, Zayong Shishi. Well, that's that wraps up today's mini vlog. Just see you again in the next one. Oh, don't forget to watch. Shalom!